evening, everyone. I'm really happy to be here today, and thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And I want to first thank Dr. Saranya for having invited me. She is my student, and I'm very proud to say that I'm her teacher, looking at the work that she's doing today. And I also want to thank our senior principal, ma'am, Ms. Kausalya Rajan, ma'am, and the principal, Vijay Karthik. Thank you very much, and for the other dignitaries on stage. Good evening, dear parents and children. It's been a pleasure being here and watching what kind of great achievements you have done all through this year, and I am privileged to be here today. So, Tamil பேசலாமா? கலந்து பேசலாம். Okay. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. Today I know you're here to see your beloved children perform on stage and have fun with them. So I won't bore you with a big speech, but every time I get access to a mic, there is one thing that I will talk about and I will not miss the opportunity to talk about. What do you think that is? It has to be something common, right? There are pre-KG children, there are older people, there are parents, grandparents, teachers. What do you think could be a topic that I can talk about that will appeal to everyone and it is common to everyone? Children, any guesses? Not discipline, not dance. Sorry? Health. Yeah, kind of. I'm going to talk about gadgets, smartphones, and the internet. Is it common to all of us? Do we all have one? Yep. Okay. So, a small introduction about myself. I know they did a very big introduction, but what I want to repeat is, for the last close to 2 decades, I have been working with children, whether it is in my clinical practice or as a school teacher, as a mother, as a speaker, and in various schools. I meet children of all ages day in and day out, and their families. And if there is one thing that I'm concerned about today, about the children, it is only the smartphone and screen times. I have no other major concerns. Right? So I do this talk called the silent hijack, which is all about what happens to a child's behavior, to the intellect, to the emotional development and social development and various areas because of screen time. And I always like to start with a story about why I even started questioning this. Right? Because my journey into this started 22 years back when the internet had just launched. What do you think that made me think about this and keep it at a distance? I was a student. How many of you read the Hindu newspaper? Here. Put your hands up. Parents? Nobody? Yes, everything is on. I can see one blue shirt. He's put both his hands up. Yes. So, he's very happy that I acknowledged it. Sorry, I don't know your name. Okay, nothing. I'm not trying to promote the Hindu here. What I'm trying to say is that my father, when I was a child like you all, and I was in school, used to tell me every day, do the Hindu crossword. Right? Used to say, your vocabulary will develop, your English will become better, and all that. And I never did it, like every other child, right? Then I went to college in Chennai, and during my internship, I had free time. And because, you don't have exams. So that time, I got this spark. I thought, okay, Appa ivlo nala sollitrukkranga, ippavadu pannalam appadinnu I got the Hindu newspapers subscription. I started doing the crossword diligently every day in the hostel. And initially it was very difficult, right? I was doing maybe 20 to 30 percentage, and then I thought this is really difficult. But by the end of the year, I could finish about 70 percentage or 80 percentage at times, and I was very proud of myself. Now what happened was I finished my internship. I came back to Coimbatore, which is my hometown. Those days we had this desktops and dial-up connections. And you could get only so much, half an hour or 1 hour of internet every day. And I would sit and browse. I would look for college options, what to study and all this. And after doing this for 2-3 months, I went and joined my PG. PG போயிட்டு அங்க one girl came and asked me, have you ever tried the Hindu crossword? My batchmate. I was like, oh my God, 3 months, I haven't done this. Let me get on back to this. I was ready to show off. I said, yeah, I can do it. So then we subscribed again and I started. The first day after 3 months, I was looking at the Hindu crossword and I was reading across, first clue. What do you think happened to me? Do you think I solved it? I only saw Google it in front of my eyes. Everything was blank. I was not able to solve the clue that I was able to solve 3 months back. And I realized at that point, that was my eureka moment when I said, oh my God, something that I was able to do 3 months back, I have just been using the internet probably for half an hour, 45 minutes for a very small period of time. And I'm already, my brain is telling me, Google it. Because that is the shortcut. That is the path of least resistance that my brain has formed in this time because it knows this is the easy way out. Whether or not I Googled is a different story. I did not because by principle I wouldn't do it, but that was the moment I realized what a profound impact dependency on a gadget can have on your intellect, your cognition, your capacity to think, and how effective your brain can function. So obviously, when I became a mother, it became stronger, this urge. And so with my children, I said no gadgets. I brought them up almost 100% gadget free. We watched movies, we had a lot of music, but no dependency on the internet. Today they are 17 and 15 and they still continue to be so, and they are not on any social media platforms or anything, and they made this choice themselves. So I think I'm okay to stand here and preach this today, right? I've been talking about it for 10 years and there are a few stories like I said, right? So what is this path of least resistance that we talk about? இங்க இருக்கிறவங்க சொல்லுங்க, முன்னாடி இருக்கிறவங்க மத்தவங்க சொல்றது எனக்கு கேட்காது, பட் இன்னைக்கு மட்டும் உங்க போன்ல எவ்வளவு நோட்டிபிகேஷன்ஸ் வந்திருக்கும்? நோட்டிபிகேஷன்ஸ்னா இமெயில், வாட்ஸ்அப், அமேசான், டெலிவரி, ஸ்பேம், மெசேஜஸ், டெக்ஸ்ட்ஸ் and Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, what else? Whatever possible, right? How much do you think you would have got? Anybody in front wants to answer? More than 1,000. Wow. Children are saying 1,000. Okay, since I cannot hear you all, I will tell you the average number that I have arrived at from all the, I've done 160 sessions as of this morning. And the average number I've arrived at is 300 notifications per day. And what percentage of these notifications are useful to life? Children are telling me 0. Adults? Okay, again, the number I have arrived at from all my previous sessions is 2%. How much is 2% of 300? 6, good. So 6 messages out and were useful for life, maybe, and 294 were useless. But what we don't realize is each one of these 300 messages that we received have formed some connections in our head. They're called synaptic connections, connections between the neurons. Every single message we receive, it forms a connection. You have to imagine it like this. Imagine your brain like a room and you're putting in so much garbage, dumping garbage, dust, all sorts of irrelevant stuff. And then you throw in a little diamond also inside, right? And then suddenly you want to find that diamond and then you have to go through all this garbage to find it. And there goes your effectiveness of thought, effectiveness of problem solving, effectiveness of quick thinking. And that is how, I'm just giving you a glimpse into one issue in this talk. Because my silent hijack is a 3-hour lecture. And I'm probably doing 2% of a glimpse into what is one issue that can happen because of dependency on the internet and gadgets. And this is one, right? So, I have a few other stories too. So I told you, right, எதெல்லாம் வந்து affect ஆகுதுன்னா நமக்கு ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு என்னென்ன டெவலப்மெண்ட் இருக்கு, இன்டெலெக்சுவல் டெவலப்மெண்ட், காக்னிட்டிவ் டெவலப்மெண்ட், இமோஷனல் டெவலப்மெண்ட், பிஹேவியரல், சோஷியல், ஃபிசிக்கல், ரைட்? இது எல்லாமே ஈக்குவலா அஃபெக்ட் ஆகுறது எதனாலனா கேட்ஜெட்ஸ்னால. In my practice, I got 2 babies in the last 1 year. I got many babies, but 2 babies were overweight and obese. And in both cases, these babies, of course, iPad for feeding. சாப்பிட்டு முடிச்சாச்சுன்னா iPad கீழே போயிடும். அதனால what would the babies do? They kept eating. They were overweight and they were obese. Only when that happened, parents opened up. So right from emotional to behavioral to everywhere, we are seeing the impact. And if I were to compare a child, a 4-year-old who came to me 10 years back with a 4-year-old who comes to me today, I would say all milestones are way lower. And research is also showing that. Whether it is speech or communication or social skills, emotional development or behavior. So, with this introduction, I don't want to go too much into this, but I am thinking what else I can talk about. What are the other stories I can tell you? In my clinic again, in the reception, குழந்தைங்க சும்மா உட்காரணும்னா என்ன பண்றோம்? ஃபோன் கொடுத்துறோமா? In clinic I think Dr. Saranya has seen, I have corners, every corner filled with bookshelves and lot of posters put up that say, please put your phone down, read a book. Put your phone down, read a book. But I never, ever, like 1 out of 100 days, maybe I'll see one parent or one child picking up a book. In fact, when they come to the clinic, they'll bring extra gadgets so that everybody can be given one, so that everybody can sit quietly. And when I ask the parents, appada chumma ukarva, right? So, it is every opportunity in public is an opportunity to teach our children behavior and social skills. And what have we taught our child? We have taught our child, if you want the phone, throw a tantrum. If you want the phone, behave badly. Behave badly, you get the phone, right? So in fact, we have not taught them any behavior, we have taught them the opposite of that. So like this, there are a lot of stories that I can go on because this is something I'm very passionate about. And I strongly believe in, I'm a big fan of Bharati. My daughter's name is Abhinaya Bharati. And wherever I go, I get a chance, like I said, I talk about this because I see it day in and day out. I see children being affected. And I don't believe in saying the world will heal itself, things will happen, and I will maintain my inner peace. I go with what Bharati says, which is, அவர் தவமும் யோகமும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருப்பார் ஒரு கவிதை. உற்றவர் நாட்டவர் ஊரார் இவர்க்கு உண்மைகள் கூறி இனியன செய்தல் நற்றவம் ஆவது கண்டீர் இதில் நல்ல பெருந்தவம் யாதொன்றும் இல்லை. பக்கத்திருப்பவர் துன்பம் தன்னை பாக்கத் பொறாதவன் புண்ணியமூர்த்தி ஒக்கத் திருந்தி உலகோர் நலம் உற்றிடும் வண்ணம் உழைப்பவன் யோகி. ஊருக்குழைத்திடல் யோகம் நலம் ஓங்கிடுமாறு வருந்துதல் யாகம். நலம் ஓங்கிடுமாறு வருந்துதல். Opposite of, inner peace and other things. நலம் ஓங்கிடுமாறு வருந்துதல் யாகம் போருக்கு நின்றிடும் போதும் உளம் பொங்கல் இல்லாத அமைதி மெய்ஞானம். So basically what he's saying is, be bothered, be angered, be upset by things that are going wrong around you and do something about it. And I totally believe in that. And that's why I'm talking about this and boring you all, because I am really affected by this one issue more than anything else. And what can we do? From my experience of talking to thousands of children and collecting data from thousands of children, what do you think, parents, the children are asking from you, from the adults? Any guesses? What are the children asking for? Huh? Sorry? Can you be louder, ma'am? Quality time, perfect. Please give her a loud round of applause. Time, trust, and freedom. This comes up almost 1 out of 3 times or 2 out of 3 times in all the conversations and reports that I get from children. Time, from my parents, they're not spending time with me. They don't notice when something is wrong with me. They don't trust me at all. Terrace ku pona, maadi ku pona kuri ye anga pora, eduk pora, enna panna pora. They don't like it. And thirdly, freedom. They don't have mobility today. Children are dependent on their parents, and we keep them dependent for as long as possible. Right? So children are asking for this. See if you can give them that. And what are the parents asking for? What are the parents asking for from the children? Very correct. Can you say it loudly? Huh? Marks? I'm sorry. I'm always on the side of the children. Right? So, but yeah. So we need to also look at what else we can give, what else we can ask from them. So I think with that, I'm just going to make a quick check if I want to say anything else. Yeah. So children, parents, give more of your time, trust, and give them more freedom if possible. And children, learn to communicate with your parents and your peers and to everybody else. Give yourself more opportunity to go outdoors and play. Get out of the house. Get out and play. Talk to people. Don't miss out on opportunities to go out and meet people. And you have no other choice but to develop your self-control, because I really feel for this generation, because none of us parents, grandparents had as much challenges as this generation has. If I was bored, there was nothing much I could do. I could go to the kitchen, talk to my mother, go to the fridge, eat something, or go outside. That's all I could do. But today there are 1,000 distractions. Therefore, as a community, as teachers, as parents, as grandparents, it's our responsibility to hold our children and remove these distractions from their environment, because they're children after all. And I have to tell the children that you need to have a lot more self-control, and you'll have to start to learn to exercise it, because you don't have any other choice. Yes, and learn to communicate with people around you and ask for help. Thank you very much. I hope it's going to be a great annual day. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your profounding words and thought-provoking speech.